I'm really excited to be here and welcome you all to this session. Thanks for joining us. And I'm Jennifer Rios-Alers, and today we're going to explore how a few small but intentional routines can create significant gains for our most struggling readers. So as we move through today's session, I just want you to think about this question. What instructional routines give us the biggest return for the limited minutes we actually have? And before we dive into those routines, I want to share briefly my lens for this work. So I'm a literacy coach and Reading Specialist at Maplewood Elementary School in Greeley-Evans School District 6. And my work as a coach centers around helping teachers translate reading science into instructional routines that are practical, sustainable, and impactful. And then as the Point 5 Read Act specialist, I serve 3 different small reading groups as a reading intervention every day. And one challenge that I consistently see is just instructional overload. We're asked as teachers to teach phonemic awareness, phonics, decoding, spelling, fluency, and comprehension, and sometimes as if they're separate things. And so what drew me to Reading Simplified is that it challenged that idea. And that leads me to the research behind the work. So Reading Simplified was created by Dr. Marna Ginsberg, and it's grounded in the federally funded targeted reading intervention research, and it uses a speech-to-print approach, also known as structured linguistic phonics. And traditional phonics often starts with letters and teaches students what sounds they make, and speech to print flips that. So we begin with the sounds students already know in their spoken language and then map those sounds onto print. And that shift really matters because we know speech is natural and reading is not. So let's look at what this looks like in practice. So this data reflects what happened when I implemented these routines consistently. I didn't improve my outcomes by adding more programs. What I did was improve them by just simplifying my instruction and increasing the precision. So students that received Reading Simplified in my targeted intervention group showed really measurable literacy growth. Several students moved from below or well below benchmark on Dibble's 8th edition to benchmark or above benchmark by end of year. In fact, all of my first grade students moved to benchmark or above, and many of my second grade students did as well. The oral reading fluency and composite scores showed the strongest overall gains. And so those small moves can create big differences for students and their outcomes. So let's dive into what were some of those small moves. So there are 3 components to a Reading Simplified intervention that I used every day. So the first component is rereading for fluency, and that's to build their automaticity and their fluency. I love that it starts, unlike most programs, they get right into text right away. Then the second component is using just a handful of word work activities. So 3 different activities build that sound symbol knowledge. And then finally, we end with guided oral reading, where they apply all of those skills in connected text. And these components all reinforce one another. And that's really it. My intervention is simplified to 5 reading activities and variations on those same 5 activities. So I'm going to today really focus in on both switch it and write it routines for the word work component. So switch it really saves time because you notice all of the skills it addresses. You don't have to teach concept of word, left to right tracking, early decoding separately. They're all integrated in this one activity. And if you notice the wording at the top of the slide, Reading Simplified has the guideline where it says once a student knows, so a kindergarten student knows 5 to 7 letter sounds and can hear the s in sun, even if they don't hear the or the n yet, they start to pick up those sounds. And this way they get better with phonemic awareness and letter sound decoding. And you save yourself so much time because you don't have to plan an additional lesson for phoneme segmentation and then an additional lesson for letter sound knowledge. They grow in both as they get and they develop the alphabetic principle all through this one activity. And so once a student is able to read short vowels about 70% of the time, we begin increasing the pace of moving through short vowels to get them into advanced phonics. So many other programs will spend 13 weeks or even an entire year in kindergarten on short vowels, which is unintentionally deceiving kids that one sound or that one letter always equals one sound. And then our first grade teachers have to undo this thinking. And so we want to choose a different instructional path. And so the mastery goal is 70% rather than waiting for everyone to have complete mastery before moving on. And all of this happens in the context of real words, not just orally, but we're tying them to written language. So the sounds and words they understand that our written language is a code for sounds, and we need to have kids tune into the fact that they unlock this code. So this is an example of what we see in many reading programs, where they'll spend just an entire week on just one short vowel sound, short A, and then the next week they'll move on to short O, and then another week short E. And we know that repetition has value, but practicing only one sound at a time can become too predictable, and then students miss opportunities to compare similar vowel sounds. So learning science shows that interleaving, switching back and forth, and then back and forth between skills strengthens that long-term learning. So in Reading Simplified, the word lists that you'll see over to the right in the gray box, those capitalize on the power of what we call paired contrasts. So we introduce new vowel sounds before students have fully mastered the previous ones. So for example, students might practice words like shall, and then that switches to shell, to sell, to set, to get, to got, to lot, to dot, to dog. And instead of focusing on just one vowel, they rapidly switch among those three different short vowels in one setting. So each time students identify the correct vowel sound, they're engaging in that retrieval practice. They have to stop and listen and think, what do I hear in the word shell? Oh, I hear eh. Which one of these letters that I have on my board is eh? And that effort is exactly what helps move learning into long-term memory. So that's the power of paired contrast. Students learn more efficiently by discriminating between similar sounds rather than practicing one sound in isolation. So let's look at this routine step by step. The sequence is intentionally simple. First, you have the students prepare their board, and they have their sounds either as letters written, or they have individual letter tiles. Next, we ask the students to build the word, and then they track from left to right as they say each sound. And then finally, we prompt them to switch. So we'll say, build the word map, say each sound as you pull it down or as you write it, switch map to mop. And those short prompts reduce the cognitive load for students. And because that routine is predictable, students can really focus on the cognitive work. So I'm going to show a quick demonstration video, about 4 minutes, and just kind of pay attention to those paired contrasts. Notice how much learning happens with very little teacher talk. And just to provide a little context, this is a group of, these are my second grade students, the majority of whom are learners who are multilingual. And so for these learners, I pre-taught the first word sprint in a different setting, but you always want to quickly fast map a definition of the new vocabulary for them. And then this word list is a Reading Simplified word list that provides a strategic mix of nonsense and real words. So also I'm having the students write the words in the video, and I will share the board that a colleague of mine created for that at the end. And we know that at this point in the year, the kids knew all their letter sounds, and they understand that one sound can be represented by 2 letters or more. So that's why I was able to have them move from letter tiles to writing. So we'll go ahead and start that video.
Great, boys and girls. Today we're going to use our sound knowledge to help us switch the sounds, and we're going to switch how many sounds at one time?
7.
Just one sound, but we have 7 different boxes, and we might do a 7 sound word, But how many sounds are we going to switch at one time?
One.
Just one. Okay, pick up your marker. The first word is a real word. This word is sprint. Say the sounds as you write it. Nice job. You have spint, but how do we make that say sprint? You have sprint. You're so close, but we need sprint. You have sprint, but we need sprint. Sprint. Good job. You got this, Mackenzie. Yes, it's sprint. Okay, now it says sprin. How do you make it say sprint? Sprint. Yes, you have sprint. Oh my goodness, that was 6 sounds in the word sprint. Now you have sprint. Let's make it sprint. Okay, so you all have sprint. Now I want you to change sprint to, listen, sprint. It's not a real word. Sprint. Good job. Yes. And sprint. Oh yes, you have sprint, but we want sprint. You have sprint, but we want sprint. Yes, you have sprint. Now I want you to change sprint to splant. 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 Oh my goodness, you're hearing it. Just one sound. You've got splant. You've got splant. Splant. I see splant on everyone's. Awesome work, guys. We're going to switch one sound from splant to, listen, splant. Splant is not a real word. It's a make-believe word. Splant. Yes, splant. Oh, good. You heard splant? That is on fire. You are rocking it. We're going to change splant to run. Perund. Good job. You got perund. Now we're going to switch perund to trund. 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 Yes, trund. That was a fast, lightning quick switch. We're going to change trund to a real word, trunk. I put something in my car and I wanted it to be safe, so I put it in the trunk. You have trunk. That's right. Trunk.
Is it C?
You could spell it with the CK, or you could spell it with a C, but we're going to spell it with just one letter. What letter? K. Trunk. A trunk in a car is something that you open to put your valuables in so that they're safe.
What happens there?
Next word we're going to change. I had to cover it up for the test. Yes, you have.
All right. So some of the delivery tips that I hope that you noticed were just that you're reminding students to say the sounds as they write it, that you're having them self-correct and check. So by asking them, you have this, we want this, they're the ones doing the heavy lifting of having to figure that out, and then elongating and exaggerating your speech, and then defining unknown words for kids. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to give you a minute to quickly reflect. How could you use switch it in your setting? Maybe intervention, small group, whole group. Let's just take a second to reflect on that. Okay, and take about 2 seconds to wrap up your thought. And then I just noticed one question in the chat that I think is a really good question about if you can turn this into a blending or decoding activity as well, and switch it as primarily a it's for phonemic awareness. And so you're building phonemic awareness, and yes, they are decoding it, but after you've scaffolded it so much, there's a different word work routine called Read It that we use that really focuses more on the decoding because of the scaffolding that happens to build their phonemic awareness, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and look at a second word work strategy called Write It. And this is what most of us are very familiar with is a dictation routine. And it just strengthens, we know, the orthographic mapping, connecting those sounds directly to print. So as students write again, we have them say each phoneme as they write the corresponding grapheme. And this simultaneous speaking and writing reinforces that sound symbol connection and helps build that accuracy. So this is often the point, though, where students have an aha moment when we do this Write It routine. They're no longer just reading patterns, they're actively encoding them, which accelerates their connection between reading and spelling and keeps students engaged. I'm going to show you a video of a headband style activity. So we gamify Write It, and it adds movement and collaboration and that repeated opportunities for students to listen, spell, and then self-check while practicing that same skill. So as you watch this video, notice how the feedback is delivered.
Hi, today we're going to play a new game, first graders. This game is called Headbands. Everyone say headbands.
Headbands.
This is a band that I wear around my head, and Juan has a secret sentence. Shh, don't tell me what the sentence is yet. Okay, Juan, can you put it in my headband without me seeing what it says? Oh, can I see what it says?
No.
I cannot see what it says. Here we go. We're not going to keep the headbands, but we're going to play them another day too. Here we go, Juan. You're going to, he already put the headband in my headband so the partner can't see. We're going to read the whole sentence first. Can you read the sentence to me, Juan?
I got a dog.
Oh, thank you. And I love how you stretched out some of those words for me. Can you say it one more time, but this time say it word by word. Go ahead. Ooh, so I'm going to write I. What do I have to say as I write it?
You need to say the sound.
I. What's the next word?
Got.
Oh, okay. How do I sound out got? Got. Oh, and I have to remember my finger space. What's next?
A.
Yes, A. Next word? It. Help me out, Juan. What do I need to do? Can you say out the sound slowly? Oh, thank you. I need to fix it. It's not pit. I got a pet. What's the last word?
Dog.
Oh, finger space? D. Og. Okay, let's check it. Does my sentence match?
Yes.
What am I missing? Got a pet dog. What did I forget at the end? Is this a period?
No.
Exclamation point. Yeah, an exclamation mark. You know why? Because you say it like this. I got a pet dog. Everyone say it with me. I got a pet dog. We're so excited. Okay, so we're going to help your partner out. If they make a mistake, you're going to say, sound it out. Try again. You wrote pit. I said pet. And then remember, these are your reminders. They're going to be on your desk. Capital at the beginning, finger spaces in between, period exclamation mark or a question mark at the end. Fix mistakes as you need to, and then you're gonna match the whole sentence at the end. Make sure it matches what's on the card. All right, I'm going to have Road be partners with All Day. Road and All Day. I'm gonna have you take the blue headband and Road. Have you played this before? Yes, so Road, can you be the one who writes, and All Day you get to read. So Road, you're gonna wear the blue headband, and All Day you have to pick a card without showing Road and put it in the headband. James, you're gonna be partners with Juan, and you're gonna do the green headband. Jaylene, you and I get to be partners. All right. Finger space. Say the sounds. Say it, stretch it out for them. Finger space. And then say the last word stretched out for him.
I can do it. Lips.
Let's check it and see what does it say. What does it say?
I did it wrong. I did it right. You said it is wrong. No, because this
Let's
word.
read it together. What's this word?
The gum is on his
It doesn't say his. What's that word? Does this say his? Say the sounds as you write it. You were so close. You almost had it. What word again, Road? Let him stretch it out for him. Say his. There we go. Say the sounds as you write it. What's the first sound? Say it. What sound is that? Good job. Now check it. Does it look the same? Good job. I like how you underlined it. Is there anything different, Road, that you want to point out that might look not quite the same? Compare the T's. What is different?
You don't have a capital at the beginning.
So fix it. Oh, good checking, Juan. Oh my gosh, James, you're helping him to check that out. Can you read the whole sentence?
The pot is hot.
Good job. Does yours look the same as this one? Check. Compare. What's different? There's something different. What do you notice? What should it be? What we call that? What kind of T? Capital T. We're gonna switch headbands now.
All right, so go ahead and just take a moment to reflect your thoughts about takeaways, how you might use Write It in your own classroom.
What time is this going to start?
All right, so just noting that the research is really compelling, and these routines generate unusually large effect sizes. And we know in educational research 0.8 effect size is considered very large, and Reading Simplified exceeds that benchmark. So that tells us that the routines are not just engaging, but they're really impactful. One of the biggest strengths of these routines is that they're simple to implement while producing those results. And schools using these, we have 3 schools in our district that are using Reading Simplified, and we've seen substantial growth, including an increase of more than 40% of students in our reading moving from below to at or above benchmark by the end of the year. So across studies, the program has demonstrated a really large effect size of 1.7, which is indicating at least a year's or more than a year's growth. And so what's especially powerful is that, you can do this. The switch it routine takes just between 5 to like 7 minutes a day. Write it can be the same, maybe a little longer, maybe 10 minutes. And then you're doing the rereading for fluency and the guided oral reading where they're applying it. And just that without adding a lot of hours of time to your block or to your intervention group. So I think the big takeaway for me is just that the power isn't in the complexity, it's in that repeatable, precise instruction. And so that brings us to discussion. So I'd love to hear your questions.
Okay, so um, everyone just had lovely things to say.
Just
They found a
quickly,
lot of success as well with with the program, but with tutoring, here's my questions. Well, let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, the whiteboards, whiteboard or paper, but then I saw that you use an erasable desk. Do you ever have them do paper or just always on a whiteboard type
Great,
thing?
great questions. Yes, we do all 3. We use paper. A lot of the Reading Simplified, they have these binders and then they have like paper activities for kids it's all created for you. So it's very low prep that they write into the paper. But I also like to use whiteboards, and I also like to use the desks to write on as many different ways to just keep it engaging for kids.
Someone commented this would be a great center activity. Do you do that and
Um,
use it, or do you have it more structured?
Yeah, I definitely have both. So like when I'm teaching, especially when I have a scholar or a student who's really struggling, I will keep them for an additional 5 minutes one-on-one, and then the other students can go and work independently on many of these activities. And Reading Simplified provides like more than you could ever use in a year of different games and things that we teach the kids to use during that center's time.
Nice. Someone commented they would definitely use this with second grader using different sound spellings. So I'm assuming that's very
Yes.
adaptable. Yeah.
Yes. And first grade, those were first graders with the headbands activity. I forgot to preface it. And then with second graders, I would use more complex text. Yeah.
Okay, so here's a good question. Would you use Reading Simplified or teach your child to read in 100 easy lessons?
Oh,
I know.
that's so hard. So I've had success with both. My own daughter learned to read with reading mastery, and she has dyslexia. And I have students who I think have benefited that have dyslexia from Reading Simplified. So I feel like at this point, it's just they're both really powerful techniques. We've moved to Reading Simplified now, and that is my favorite approach. But they're both powerful.
So this is my question then. So if I went back, I think I would use a linguistic phonics like Reading Simplified. Is that yeah. Um, do you use it tier 1 or is it just for intervention?
We actually use it in kinder and first grade as tier 1. Actually,
Okay.
kinder first and somewhat of second, a little bit of second, and then it drops off. But we use it primarily as tier 1, and then it becomes an additional dose or like a double dose for kids for intervention as a tier 2. And then in
Okay. So
third grade and up, it's an intervention.
you use Reading Simplified for third grade and up. Okay.
Yes, we
That's
do
interesting.
for our most struggling readers. Yeah.
Okay. So can this program work in a two-way immersion program where instruction occurs in both Spanish and English?
Yes, and we have a school, Meeker Elementary School, where the teacher of the year was a kindergarten teacher that was like her first year, and she does dual immersion, and they use Reading Simplified. And Dr. Ginsburg came to the school and supported her, and I got to be there while she was coaching this teacher. And so it's very, very effective in both.
Oh, wow. Okay, so back to your data. So that was your first grade, oral reading fluency. You had 80% at grade level, right?
And
Did
that
I
was actually
understand
at
that right?
MOY, and by EOY it was
Oh,
100%. So I
100.
I didn't
Oh,
share my
wow.
EOY data, but that was pretty shocking. That did not happen in second grade, but it happened with my first graders. Yeah.
So, yeah, because we are really struggling with first graders getting them on the ORF because we hit that middle of year ORF and that's when their scores plummet on Acadians. Um,
Mm.
but you're getting 100%. And how many words correct is that a minute? Do you know off the top of
Oh
your
boy,
head?
I want to say
I
it's
know.
like 42, I want to say, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that.
Yeah,
The end
and
of
what
first.
accuracy do they have to be, like 90, 95? What is their accuracy? Do you
It's
know?
lower accuracy in first grade. I don't have my Dibble's
Okay.
eighth
Okay.
like little
Yeah,
cheat sheet
sorry.
that tells me exact
Yeah.
accuracy, but it's definitely over. It's over 90%, but it's not as high as it is in second
Right.
grade. I know the accuracy
Right.
doesn't have to be as high.
Yeah.
And that is just with my little group of six
91%.
first graders. Not all, we did not move that many by the end of the year as
Oh,
a
so
whole
that was just in
school.
your intervention
That
group?
was just my
Okay.
little intervention group. No,
But
yeah.
still, those were students that required an intervention and you were able to get them. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. That's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Wonderful.
Let's see. Would you have advice if a child has both dyslexia and DLD? I find comprehension can affect fluency, especially for older children. Do programs like corrective reading comprehension help?
Mhm. So developmental delay or developmental
Uh,
learning disability?
it's when it's a lang oh gosh. It's when like they can read, but they can't understand what they're reading is kind of a simplified way of saying. Yeah,
Mm,
developmental language disorder. Yeah.
okay. And I don't know a ton about that yet. I need to learn more about that. So um, I know that our students who have been diagnosed with dyslexia, it really benefits, but for students who have the other language disorder, there is a huge emphasis in Reading Simplified on developing meaning, and so it's very effective for kids who struggle to comprehend. But I don't know specifically with that disorder if it's I don't know that.
Did you create the headband cards or did you buy them?
I did. I just bought them on Amazon. They were like, I want to say like $15 maybe for a set of six with and they came with markers and a lot more things.
Oh, nice. So the cards that came made.
The
Oh, nice.
cards didn't come with that. Those are a separate, I think I got those off of Teachers Pay Teachers because I liked the pictures for my multilingual learners. Um,
Okay. So, yeah. Uh, for the DLD question, Anjanette just posted Story Champs. Yes, I've heard that too. I'd forgotten about that. So I know that Story Champs is really successful for students that struggle with DLD. Uh, did I miss a question? Oh, and then I had a reading rocket. Someone posted that too, a reading rockets for DLD as well. Um, let's see. Do we have any other questions? Okay, I'm gonna post in the chat um the sessions if you need to look at that again, what's coming up next. We do have a few more minutes, but if people still have questions, but just if you're wondering what's happening, what's coming up. In our session, we have tall. I highly recommend staying for that. Um,
Jen,
yeah.
yes, I'm looking forward to staying for that. Sorry,
our
Tal.
sessions pair together so well, Jen. I'm going to talk about Reading Simplified too.
Yay, that's awesome. So, and these are just some of the resources that I wanted to share before this ends. We have the research link from the Reading Simplified base study, as well as targeted reading intervention their reference page, that was the precursor to Reading Simplified. And then these are those switch it maps that a colleague of mine actually created that I shared that have 4 and 5 sounds for switch it if you are interested in that. And then I just want to really thank everyone for hanging with me today with this session. And as we close, just thinking about how struggling readers don't always need more programs. Often they just need clear, more integrated instruction. And so small moves can truly create big gains. And thank you so much.
We have a couple more questions.
Oh, great. Okay.
Eunice, go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, my question is a bit longer. That's why I chose to speak instead.
No, that's great.
Okay. I teach ELD, so I teach from pre-K to 8, and I work with students in multiple classrooms. I have this challenge of when I'm teaching students foundational skills. And some of them, their teachers are used to tapping with their fingers. Some are used to tapping their tables, and some don't use anything at all. So grouping such students at once to give them lessons, sometimes I find it challenging because they are used to different methods, and I have to choose one. Is there something that I can do, anything that I can do to help them? Because sometimes it can be confusing. They are used to a certain way of teaching or a certain style of teaching, and I'm also coming in with a different style. Is there anything I can do to help them?
I have that exact issue sometimes myself because I pull from different classrooms and the students do have different signals or signaling. So we, as a school, try to meet together, weekly, and that's something that I can bring up to the team and just say, get ready has been a very highly effective signaling approach. I know Laura talked about DI, and that's direct instruction. That is one of the best methods, but then there's also some other ones that teachers will use. And I basically just kind of reset them for, remember when just reminders, when I hold my hand up, that's your turn to think. When I drop my finger and snap, that's when you're going to say the word. So getting them to give that choral response. I think having research that states, this is the most effective and this has been field tested and this is why this approach works, oftentimes can help.
So a couple more and then we'll end. We are wanting links to the Switch It map and then links to your research if you're able to put those in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
if you're able to, yeah. So yeah.
I should be able to try that. So this is the research link. And then I will, let's see, go back. This is the reference from the, sorry, I'm not very here. This is the reference link and then the map. Go back.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer.